Nandar Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna, Arjuna Sakha Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Prabhuji, is it possible to turn on your camera? Prabhuji?
Sure, Prabhu. Am I audible, Prabhu, otherwise?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Okay, good. Is
Hare
my
Krishna
video?
devotees. Yeah. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Today we are very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Arjuna Sakha Prabhu, who will be sharing the nectar from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 6, chapter number 3, sloka number 1 to 3. Prabhuji, over to you, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Let me open my verses. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tado Jayat Muduraye Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangulangriyate Girim Chatkrupatamaham Bande Sri Guru Dinatarine Shunyatam Sukatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantastavatrani vidhunoti srutam Nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati ruttama shlokher bhaktir bhavati naistike Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the Ashram devotees. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3, and verse 1, 2, and 3. Let me share my screen. So I hope it is visible, Prabhu. Yeah, that we can. Sri Raju Vacha Nisamya Devo Subhat Nishamya Deva Subhat Upavarnitam Pratashya किं तम् अपि धर्मराज एवं हताज्ञं विहितं मुरेर नैदेशिकः जस्य वसे जनमयम् निशम्य देवो स्वभात उपनामृतम् प्रत्याह किं तम् अपि धर्मराज एवं हतज्ञ विहतन् मुरारे 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 नैदेशिकः जस्य वसे जन अयम्. Verse number 2. जमस्य देवस्य न दण्डभङ्ग कृतश्च नश्च श्रुतपूर्व आसी. एतन्मुने वर्षति लोकसन्न्यसं संशयम् नहि तदन्य इति मे विनिश्चितम्. जमस्य देवस्य न दण्डभङ्ग कुतश्च कुतश्च नश्यं श्रुतपूर्व आसी. एतन्मुने वर्षित संशयम् न हि तदन्य इति मे विनिश्चितम्. Verse number 3. भागवत श्री सुक उवाच भागवत पुरुषे राजन् जम्हा प्रतिहितो धमा पतिं विज्ञपा पतिं विज्ञापयम् असुरः यमं संस्मयनि पतिम्. श्रीसुक उवाच भगवत्पुरुषाय राजन् यमः प्रतिहतोद्धमा पतिं विज्ञापयम् असुरः यमं संशयमे पतिम्. Hare Krishna. We'll go translations by Srila Prabhupada and purport one by one. Verse number 1. Sri Raju Vacha. So here Prabhupada translated. King Parikshit said, O Lord, O Sukadev Goswami, Jamraj is the controller of all living entities in terms of their religious and irreligious activities. But his order had been foiled when his servants, the Jamadutas, informed him of their defeat by the Jadukula, by Vishnudutas, who had stopped them from arresting Ajamil. What did he reply? Purport by Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that although the statements of the Jamadutas were fully upheld by Vedic principles, the statements of the Vishnudutta were triumphants. This was confirmed by Yamaraj himself. Second verse. O great sages, never before had it been heard anywhere that an order from Yamaraj had been baffled. Therefore, I think that people will have doubts about this that no one but you can eradicate. Since this is my firm conviction, kindly explain the reasons for these events. There is no purport here. And the third one that this is from Sukha Vacha. This is the response to these questions from King Parikshit. Sri Sukha Goswami replied, My dear king, when the order carriers of Jamraj were baffled and defeated by the order carriers of Vishnu, they approached their master, the controller of Samya Manipuri and master of sinful Persian, to tell him of this incident. So we'll be covering this 3 verse, and also we'll be going back and reflect some of the key teachings, key points of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 2. And we'll understand what is there for us. What is the practical approach in our life that we should follow after hearing this particular very, very important chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jainam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadatesha Padantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavan Shamsu Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sajivam सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखानितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद पंचतत्वात्मकः कृष्ण भक्त रूप स्वरूपकम् भक्त अवतारम भक्ताक्षम नमामि भक्त संघिकम् हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So these three verses connecting the dots. So in the second chapter, we understood there is a discussion happening between Parikshit Maharaj and Sukdev Goswami in the form of question and answer. And Sukdev Goswami narrated the complete story of Azambil, how Azambil as a boy got trapped, coming from a Brahmanical family, maintaining the austerity, tapasya, and he is doing the service of the Lord. But still, he got attracted to a couple's, the conjugal, with a conjugal love, and that attraction captured his mind and overpowered him. Sorry, not overpowered, outpowered him. Now he got the blessings of the association of a sadhu who helped him to give the child, the last child of Azambil as Narayan. And unintentionally, unknowingly, he was chanting the name of the Lord, Narayan, Narayan, each and every moment. And particularly when he was sitting in the deathbed, waiting for the death to come, he was benedicted by Vishnudut. He was given the opportunity by Vishnudut, and there was a fight happening between Vishnudut and Yamadut. Yamadut, they came and they about to take Narayan, the soul and the subtle body of Narayan, along with them. And by the time, instantly, the Chaturbhuji, the Vishnudut came into this place, and they fought with this Yamadut, and definitely there was a fight happens. There is fight not in this fight, but in the fight of words, and finally they were defeated. The Yamaduta were defeated. So this looks very simple story, right? This looks very simple and very normal story. But when we look at this core message, this message is so powerful that it could be a message for the lifetime. There is a hope in our life. In the Kali Yuga, in the age, particular age, we see everybody out of fear, anxiety, stress, and this become a new norms in life. And Lord Krishna also explained his foresight at this particular issue in life in the Kali Yuga. This, and also it was described in Srimad Bhagavatam, pride alpayasha, manda sumanda matayu manda bhagya sumandita. Kalo asmi in Jugejana. In the age of Kali, the level of the mental, the strength will be minimized. People will be having little age. The time will be very less now. The age, the lifespan will reduced. The intelligence will be reduced. The lock that we call is also it become very sumanda. It is very, very slow. So in this precarious situation we are living, and it's all what is this accumulating and multiplying our stress level and anxiety level. That is for sure. And in this situation, and we are totally controlled by Maya, and there is plenty of attraction everywhere. And what is that is leading us to fear. And if you look at the kind of fears that we all go through, experience through, there could be many regions of failures. There are various types of failures. There are various types of fear in our life. But what are the biggest fears that we undergo? If you look at the social studies or maybe scientific research or the social research we relied upon. So one of the biggest factors for fear is fear of death. We all undergo the fear of death. And if you look at the underlying current, the cause of the fear, definitely you are losing everything out of the fear. You're losing everything because you are dying. And once you are dead, everything will be snatched out from you. But the underlying current, which is causing you fear, there is another one. Everybody know very consciously at the heart or the mind, and maybe some corner of the heart, some corner of the mind, some corner of your consciousness, we have somehow, we realize as a human being, something that we did, and the Pandora box will be opened one day, and we will not be spared. That's why the fear comes. What if I'm cut off? I've done a lot of things, a lot of mistakes. A lot of anxiety comes because of this factor, and that leads us to more fear. So what is the story, this particular Ajambil Pakshan that we have been? This is one of the very highly narrated story of Srimad Bhagavatam. Each and every village, nook and corner of the family, even I at the very childhood was listening from my grandmothers and grandparents, right? Very this same story repeatedly time and again. And this is a very household story, Ajambil story. But the core message is so powerful, so powerful. Even in a very, very precarious situation where you are about to fall down in the society, the so-called society will be defining you, tagging you as you are a failure, tagging you as you are the worst, one of the very worst personality. But still at the very, very precarious situation, something, a great force of the divine, a great divine force is helping us and taking us to the better place. How come this be? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says there are 3 points I'll be referring it. First is in the 18th chapter, Krishna says, Masucha, Sarvadharman Parityajya, Mam Ekam Saranam Braja. Aham Tvam Sarva Papibhyo Muktasyami Mam Sucha. Masucha, don't ever fear, never lament, never fear, don't fear. I'll take care of this. And again he says, Jatha Mam Prapadyante Tam Tatheva Bhajamyam. Mama Vartma Manuvartante Manushya Partha Sarvada. Jatha Mam, the way that you develop relationship with me, get associated with me, I'll reciprocate accordingly. But we think the reciprocation will be only visible to us, and we believe only it is visible in our eyes. That is the problem. जो दिखता है वो चमत्कार होता है. Whatever is visible, we only can see that this is only happening with me. Which is not visible, we generally tend to forget, we tend to undermine, we tend to neglect that blessings, we tend to neglect which is at the background. But what is manifestation, what is manifested in front of us that is coming to our life is nothing but there's something at the background. And we don't have that capacity to look into that. And we tend to neglect that blessings. But what Krishna says, Jatha Mam Prapadyante Tam Tatheva Bhajamyam. I also reciprocate in the same way. You come one step, I'll come one step. You come 10 step, I'll come 10 step. But the quantification of one step from you and the quantification of one step from the Lord will be extremely different. What is extremely visible, very, very specifically visible from this particular instance. Unknowingly, unintentionally, he was chanting Narayan to address his child, the youngest child of Ajambil. Narayan, Narayan come, Narayan sleep, Narayan eat, Narayan drink, Narayan don't go, Narayan don't go, Narayan play. Every moment he is uttering Narayan. And Narayan being the youngest one, he was chanting unknowingly. But even unknowingly, we understood the Namabhas. I'll not go deep into that because we've already covered that part. So, but in the Namabhas also, what Krishna did, Tam tatheva bhajamyam. I also serve them equally. Tam tatheva bhajamyam. And Krishna never forget. He never forget your seva. And this is how this story is giving a proof that yes, Krishna never forgets the seva that you are doing. Even in Bhagavad Gita, he says, again narrated, Krishna explained it very explicitly, very clearly. Sualpam apyasya dharmasya trayatu mahato bhayat. Sualpam apyasya dharmasya. Even if you are doing or performing little fraction of the devotional service, rendering fraction of devotional service unto the lotus feet of the Lord, that will help you eradicating, that will help you get rid of the all biggest miseries of life. Trayate mahato bhayat. And what is the biggest fear of a human being? If he's falling down. For devotees, falling down means going away from the association. But for ordinary people, for lay people, for the human being, falling down means falling down from human life. You're already a human being, but if you're going back to this animalistic or maybe a pasu yoni or maybe nimna joni, that is a falling down. And when you are looking at this Ajambil, it is very much clear from Yamadut. That means you are liable to punish. But because what sin you have not done, you have done each and everything. Dacoits, theft, he did so many wrong things, even unimaginable. But what Krishna says, Swalpam api yasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. And will be taken care of very properly, even in the fraction of this. That's why again in chapter 18, that what the crux of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chetasa sarva durgani mai prasadat tarishisi. Here, this is the direct blessings, the prasad of Krishna, coming to Ajambil in the form of Yavindut and liberating from this mritti sansara. They're given the opportunity, yes, Ajambil, you did a lot of wrong things in your life. But still, you did a great things that by chanting the name of the Lord. And now you'll be given an opportunity. Chetasa sarva durgani. But you may say, the question may come, the Chetasa was not playing a role here. Ajambil's consciousness was not Krishna consciousness. Ajambil consciousness was child consciousness. But still, he was liberated. He was given opportunity. So Chetasa Sarva Durgani, from all the material ocean, all this bondage, every attachment, every bondage, whatever precarious situation it could be, but you'll be liberated from here. Sarva Durgani is not, Krishna is not saying that this Durgani, particularly if this condition, that condition. this Durga, that Durga. No, Sarva Durga. And we all are living in the Durga, right? Durga, Prithvi is a Durga under this Maya. So even in that case also, what happened? Chetasa Sarva Durga. When you are in Krishna consciousness, God consciousness, with this consciousness, you will be liberated from the Durga, all type of Durga. And what is the second one that plays very vital role here is Mat Prashadad Tarishyasi. With my blessings, we'll get rid of. And you'll overcome all the ocean, material ocean. And he did practice even. The great part is that Ajambil never practiced, never tried to practice, never intended to practice. But the only great things that he did by chanting the name Narayan, Narayan, only the name that's given by a saint. So there are two prasad he got. One is prasad of the sadhu sang, the fraction of sadhu sang that he did. The sadhu came and stayed one night at his place and blessed it. And second is blessed the name of the Lord. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given this mission to all of us, right? He's narrated so many stories. If you'll read Chaitanya Charitamrita and the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, many times he narrated, he sung this verse particularly. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Namipya Kevalam. Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. And when Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, who is given the first purport of this particularly first verse, what he says, Nama Bina Kichu Nahika Bhai, Choda Bhuvana Mahaji. And the Tattvadarshi, particularly the Tattvadarshi like Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. If you look at their teaching, Srila Prabhupada, what is the unanimous way that we can understand is, and what he has given, Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, Namo Binu Kichu Nahi Kabhai, Choda Bhavana Maji. Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Prakasha Sarvashu, Aham Prabhava Sarvashu, Mata Sarvam Pravartate. I'm everywhere, everything is emancipated from me, nothing else. In Upanishad, it is described, Isha Vasam Idam Sarvam Jayedam Jagatam Jagat. Everywhere you can see me, my presence, Lord's presence in each and every atomic, subatomic particles, and the gigantic particles as well as the subatomic particles. That has been confirmed in Upanishad. There's been confirmation in Bhagavad Gita. Got confirmations in Srimad Bhagavatam. Sadhu Guru Shastra Bhakya Tinite Kariyakya. But what our Acharya did see, they not only see the presence of the Lord in the form of energy, but that get energy, it got manifested. They could see, they could visualize, they could realize, they could understand, they could deeply realize in their heart. The potency of Nam is everywhere. They see the underlining, they see the presence of the energy of the Lord, each and everything, in their own body, in the external world, in the internal world, and the entire universe, and the entire cosmos. And they also could see the energy got manifested in the age of Kali only in the form of name. Hare Namit Kevalam. That's why Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur very clearly, it is so powerfully he says, Namo Bina Kichu Nahika Bhai Choda Bhavana Maji. And I can see nothing except the name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And that he could visualize that. He could see the name directly. Pratyaksha Praman. Do we have that vision? We can see Nam Prabhu. That's why Nam Prabhu. Nam is not just ordinary, just name, just Hare Krishna, like your name, my name. No, it is the name of the Lord, so powerful. And it is manifested in this age of Kali, pratyakya, in the form, the blessings form of the Lord. The merciful name manifested as a Nam Prabhu. And that is very much we can interact with Nam Prabhu. And Nam Prabhu has got the potency to reciprocate sitting in your heart. And this is what the power, the message that coming from Bhagavatam. And that's why if you look at the last four verses, particularly, let's cover the importance of this Nam in the fourth. Let me go to this. Yeah, this is the importance that given. Only whatever fractional, even Namabhas, if you're chanting the Namabhas, that also liberate you. Yeah, let me read this, verse 46. Let me share so that you can all understand the importance of this now. Yeah. Nata param karmam nivadhya kritti namo krittama. Na ataha param karma nivaddha. Mumukshitam tirtha padaha anukirtanat. Therefore, you see, this is the translation, such a powerful translation. Therefore, one who desires freedom from material burdens should adopt the process of chanting and glorifying the name, fame, forms, and pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead, at whose feet all the holy places stands. This is powerful. At whose feet all the holy place stands. One cannot derive the proper benefit from other methods, such as the pious atonement, speculative knowledge, meditation in mystic yoga, because even after following such methods, one takes the fruitive activities again, unable to control his mind, which is contaminated by the base quality of nature, namely passion and ignorance. So this is the greatest boon, benediction. This is the greatest blessings Lord has given to human being. Pati ache naam. Pati ache naam hata jive rakar. Just to give these blessings to this human being, to jiva, all the jiva, living entity. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was given so much of emphasis on chanting name, to preaching the name. Amaragya Guru Heya Tara is this. Jare dekho, tare dekho. Moroi, sorry, Jare dekho, tare kaho, Krishna Upadesh. And they went both together, begging with the folded hand. They were begging to each and everybody, please chant the name of the Lord. Please chant the name of the Lord. And it is so much powerful. Namna makari bahudha nija sarva sakti. Tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala. Etadrushitava kripa bhagavan mapti. Durdevam vidrusham ihajani nadurad. And Lord has given all this, He's planted each and every power and potentiality in the name. We may not believe. We may not believe because we have that mundane thought process, living in the life of the passion and ignorance. We can't believe that. But just look at the seed, the banyan, seed of the banyan tree, how it is small. It is so small that even it may not be possible to hold it in your fist, right? It cannot be, it will fall down. But when you see this potential, just look, unless you plant it, even if you plant it, it will not germinate. But once it is germinated, happens that produce millions of seeds, that produces the amazing, huge, magnanimous banyan tree. But even to produce the banyan tree also, it has to go through a process. Unless it's been swallowed and be taken out by a particular bird, it will not germinate it, right? So even if you're chanting the name of the Lord, it has got the same potency. Nam Namakari Bahudha Nija Sarva Sakti. The name which is not visible to us, but visible to the Tattvadarshi like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Rupa Goswami, Shad Goswamis, Srila Prabhupada. We do not have that power to see the name directly, but we can see through their eyes. They believed in it. They lived in it. They realized this. And with this realization, they developed the convincing, unflinching faith in the name. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the emphasis, just Jivera Kara. Nityanand Mahaprabhu has come to give this liberation through the name. Pati Ache Nama Hatta Jivera Kara. And every acharya, they're not worried about themselves, right? Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami coming from such an affluent family, giving up each and everything. Raghunath Das Goswami giving up each and everything. Narottam Das Thakur, being a king, has left each and everything. Raghunath Das Goswami, being the child of the multi-millionaires, Raja, is just give up everything and coming in front of the Lord and sitting in the Badadanda in Jagannath Puri and begging for alms. No, just to get this now. Why so? Because they could see the power, they could see the name directly and realized it. And that's why from this story, that is, we're given a hope here, in fact. There is a hope for us. And what is the hope? Mat prasadat tarishyasi. And name is coming here directly to your doorstep to bless you, to give this blessing. And forget about just chanting just by accident. Ajambel chanted it accidentally, unintentionally. But think about the power of name when you're chanting deeply. Namaparad, Namabhas, and Suddhanam. Aparadha Sunya Hoy Loha Krishna Nam. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Pran. When you are transcending from this Nam Aparad to Suddhanam, the real magic happens to start. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Pran. Definitely Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Pita ahamasya jagato mata dhata pitamo. Veda pavitra omkara rukshama jujureva. He is our mother, he is our parents, he is our grandfather, right? He is already there. But we have that realization? No. We only realize when Krishna is in front of us. We can only realize the presence of our parents when parents are in front of us. When they are away, we neglect. When they are away from us, staying 100 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers, 1,500 kilometers away, we tend to neglect them. We tend to neglect their message because they are not staying with us. Similarly, we tend to neglect Krishna because Krishna is not visible to our eyes. But what here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving this message. What Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is giving this message. Aparadha Sunya Hoy Laha Krishna. When you are chanting the name of Lord, Hari, Krishna ka naam, what happens? Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Pran. Krishna will be manifested in your heart. He will be manifesting you as a father. He'll be manifested in front of you as a mother. He'll be manifesting you in front of you as a grandfather. And also, he will be the wealth of your life. And he will also be the life itself. And Krishna says, don't restrict me. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita very, very clearly, don't, Arjun, don't restrict me. There is a relationship, there is a sweet, loving relationship between you and me for all the living entity. But what you are doing, you are just putting me as a showpiece in your heart. Along with your Atma, I am sitting only as a Paramatma. I am just watching you, and you are considering me as just a Paramatma. Even many people do not consider even. But what Krishna says, don't restrict me as a Paramatma. I can play a role for you. That is for sure. But that depends how you are nurturing my relationship. If you can nurture the relationship, I'll come out from the way that you are putting me as a Paramatma, only Paramatma, just looking and watching whatever you are doing. But I can play a vital role in your life, provided you nurture that relationship. And when you nurture that relationship, the real magic will be starting. What will happen? I'll take control of your life. Upadrishta, Anumanta, Bhukta, Maheshwara. I'll be playing the role of like anything, a guide, a coach, a mentor, a protector, whatnot, a Ishvara, Maheshwara. Anumanta, I can give you the permission. I can give you the guidance. I can show you the path. I can show you the direction. But don't restrict me. And that's why we do not understand the loving relationship, which is already there, the closest, most nearest, most closest relationship we tend to forget. And we always kept on neglecting. But how that can be manifested, how Krishna can convert himself, when we can allow Krishna just from a mere Paramatma to Upadrushta, Anumanta, Bhukta, Maheshwara. Paramatma iti. Along with Paramatma, he'll also be playing the vital role in my life. And you just imagine, what if suppose we are giving our entire life, nobody but Krishna is taking care of this. The entire life will be derived, will be taken care by Krishna. What happens? How it looks like? Can you imagine? But in order to do that, you need to allow Krishna to stay in your heart, in your Chetana, in your consciousness. But unfortunately, Krishna is very smart. Krishna knows what is there in your heart. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Bhagavad Gita, we take many reference from anywhere. We have thousands and thousands of verses that we can narrate of where Krishna is likely to dwell, where he wants to be coming and never go away from the heart. What is the condition? And if you can develop that plot, environment in our heart, then only Krishna will definitely, we are welcoming Krishna. And what is the very first place to welcome Krishna in our life? What is the very, very first thing that we need to welcome our Krishna in our life? Atha Sri Krishna, forget about Krishna's name, Krishna's paraphernalia. We cannot even understand what is Krishna. We cannot even understand what is God. That's why Shastra says, Atha Sri Krishna Namadi Na Bhapet Graham Indriya. It is very impossible to understand the importance of the paraphernalia, the energy of the Lord in our insensible, imperfect senses. But unless we purify ourselves, then only we'll be able to welcome Krishna, and Krishna will be living in our life. And what is this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given? And here in this particular, is very clearly it is given here. There is no other ways. One cannot derive the proper benefit from other methods, such as pious atonement, speculative knowledge, meditation in mystic yoga, because even after following such methods, one takes repetitive activities again and again, unable to control the mind, which is contaminated by the base qualities of nature, namely passion and ignorance. this. Bhagavad Gita also says the same thing. Karana guna sangasya sata sata janma jonishu. Because of the association with this material world, association with mode of ignorance and association with the mode of passion, what we are doing, we are taking birth and death, time and again with various type of bodies in our life. But what is the way out? They purify your existence. Purify your existence. Unless you purify your existence, you cannot establish yourself as a soul. And how to purify? What is the surest way to purify? The surest way is to Sevan mukhe zivade. Swalpam eva spuratita. Yes, as if we are taking a medicine and the medicine will be bringing the effect and will get rid of the diseases. Similarly, when you chant, when we serve the Lord in our tongue, the Lord himself will automatically manifest. And that is the blessings that we are given. And through the Ajambil story, what is a great hope for all of us, even at the time of death. If you remember Krishna, yam yam api smaranam bhavam tajjayanti kalevaram tam tam api kunti sadatad bhavu bhavita. Antakalishya mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yat prayasi samad bhavam na asti asya sansaya. There is no doubt into this. If you chant the name, if you remember me at the time of death, even at the last fraction of the moment, Antakalishya mameva smaran muktva kalevaram, and you are leaving your body, are chanting and remembering my name, then what will happen? Yam prayati samad bhavam, you'll definitely get my consciousness. And never, never, never doubt on this. Never doubt on this. Ah, sincere, na sincere. Never, never doubt. And that is the power we're given. But why to wait? Kulasekhara, Kulasekhara says. Kulasekhara was, Raja King Kulasekhara was very, very smart, and he knew the condition of the life. The life plays a very tricks, and Maya plays very, very special trick in our life. And why should I wait till that time? Why should I wait for that time? I may not remember Krishna. I may not remember Lord. I may not chant. I may not be able to chant. So let me chant now itself. Why should I wait at the deathbed and take chance? 0.0001% possibilities. No. Let's make the possibility 100%. And how he ensured that it is 100%? Krishna tadiyo pada pankaja panjara adhoyamam vishayumanasara rajahansa. Prana prayana shamai kapavat pittayu kantha varadhanoshpiri smaranam kutasta. Who knows? Who knows? I'll be able to remember. And everybody knows at the time of death, it is a very precarious situation. Kantha avaradhono, kantha varadhano vidhi. The kantha will choked. The voice will be choked because we'll be outpowered by the kapha, vata, and pitta of life. And because of the kapha, vata, and pitta, and the pain will be such high, and they're not able to remember. You got all your remembrance is gone. You'll never forget who is your father, who is your brother, who is your sister, who is your son, who is your child, not even take their name with many people that you've seen. Forget about Krishna. Atah Sri Krishna Namavadi. And how can you do that? Now is the time. The best time is now. Take it seriously, sincerely. If you want to liberate yourself, you want to get the ultimate benefit of life. Krishna Pita, Krishna Mata, Krishna Dhanapran. If you want to manifest Krishna as our own father in our own life, this life, then start chanting seriously. Take the center of name. And that is the possible when you are purifying your existence. Rishabdev urged Bharat to purify. The only job of a human being is to purify your existence. Nayam deha dehanu bhaja nirloke kastan kaman na arhashi bidbujam. Your job is not to work like a dog, dog and hogs with the stool eater. If you're engaged in your day-to-day life, you're nothing better than the dog and hog because they are the same thing. They're doing the same thing. But what is the only thing that you as a human being you should do is to purify your existence. Nayam deha dehanu bhaja nirloke kastan kaman na rahashi bidbujam. Tapo dipyam putraka jena suddeta satta jasmin sukhamanantam. You are entitled for unlimited bliss, but the only unlimited bliss will only come when you purify your existence. And what is the sublime, the transcendental, sure, 100% assured method of sublimely purifying your existence is by chanting the name of the Lord. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Namipya Kevalam. Kalo Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatirandita. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way than the chanting of the name, chanting of the name of the Hari, name of the Hari, name of the Hari. And the result is so magnanimous. Chetudarpanam marchidam bhavamaha davakni nirpapanam. Lord Himself comes and gives to us. This blessing is given to us. Chetudarpanam marchidam bhavamaha davakni nirpapanam. Sreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyam buddhivardhanam. Pratipadam purnamriti aswadanam sarvatra snapanam param vijayato Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is the power. So there is no other power. The only thing that we take shelter is the name of the Hari. The only process is to purify. By purifying our heart, our consciousness, our mind, will be welcoming Krishna in our life. And when Krishna comes in our life, Krishna is not just the seer, the Paramatma, but he can play the role of our guides, mentor, the coach, father, mother, grandfather, our beholders, protectors. And when Krishna comes in our life, we can have a transcendental living being in this life. That's why when you look at the Mahajan, Dharma ek nihitam guhayam, there is a fight between both of them, the Jamadut as well as the Vishnudut. But the Vishnudut has got, because they are, who is Dharma? The representative of true Dharma, transcendental Dharma. But yes, in the human life, Dharmaraj is given to justify, to give justice, right, to this body. But when you look at the Dharma, where does Dharma resides? Dharma nihitam guhayam, that is residing secretly in the heart of the devotees. And we need to follow whom? Mahajan, because the Dharma is residing in this heart of the Mahajan. And unless we follow their footsteps, we cannot get the glimpse of the Dharma in our life. And when you look at their life, all the Mahajan, and even the great Mahajans like Sambhu, Kumaro, Kapilo, Manu, you got the message of Srimad Bhagavatam for all the Mahajan, unanimously, undividedly, unconditionally, each and every one, they come into the conclusion that potency of the Hari, name of the Hari, is so magnanimous that it has got the power to kill all kind of miseries, misfortunes, your past deeds, past mistakes, whatever comes, everything will be given, is be born out like ashes. That's why Brahmaji says, Jnane prayasam dupasyanamanta eva jivanta sanmukharitam bhavati avarta. Lord Shiva glorifies the devotional service in the form of Rudragit is glorified, so magnanimous, the devotional service, and given this benediction to Prachitagan, right, in the form of Rudragit. Kapil Dev, he narrated, spoke the importance of this to his mother, Devahuti. Lord Ram to Savari. Prahlad Maharaj given the importance of the Harinam and urged us to start giving this benefit at the very beginning, Komaram Acharit Praha. And so many instances, so many Mahajan given the only one message. Srotabhyam Kirtitabhyam Smritabhyam Sa Bhagavan Druda. This is the ultimate things that we are given, we are blessed with. And thanks to Srila Prabhupada, he has delivered at our doorstep. Thanks to our Guru, thanks to our Parampara, they have given this. They put this everything in our mouth. Not only doorstep, he delivered in the doorstep, but they put them in our mouth. Just chant. But what happens? Atachitta ahankarat. Because of this contamination, the ahankar, the ego somehow, the playing in our mind, and that is restricting us, not chanting properly. And that is the agony of our life. Otherwise, Krishna would have been Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Pranadhar would have been sitting in the lap of Krishna. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving me this great opportunity. And I request prayer for all of you, to all of you. Please pray for all of us so that together we can make it. And we make Krishna in our Pranadhar. Hare Krishna. I'm open to questions. If you have any comments, questions, or any advice, kindly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you very much for a wonderful class and emphasizing on the opportunity that we got. We got the nectarian food on our mouth. We have to just chew it and swallow
Yes,
it.
Prabhu.
You made it so beautifully, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Especially you referred the sloka of Sekar Alvar. It's very, very powerful. Kantaro Danavido Maranam Kutaste. So, thank you, Prabhuji. I request the devotees to share their comments or reflections.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Thanks for the nectarian class, Prabhu. As Prabhu said, the nectar is given by Srila Prabhupada. So nicely prepared. Only we have to drink it and practice it and put it into our life. And you have given such beautiful examples and references, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you. Dandavat Pranams Prabhu, very beautiful class. Especially when you said the human form, our only job is to purify our existence. It was very heart touching, Prabhu. Prabhu, I want one clarification, Prabhu. In Ajamila's life, is it Chaitya Guru who inspired him to name his son as Narayana, or you said one sadhu came and stayed in his house, no, Prabhu?
Ji Mataji, yes. That was the story. The sadhu came because the sadhu was moving in the jungle and Ajambil was staying in the village away from the core village, mostly in the jungle place. And that was storm night and the sadhu wanted his shelter and he could see the light coming from the Ajambil's house. They entered this house and it took shelter of, and Ajambil given this shelter to sadhu. And that is the greatest things that he did.
This is in Bhagavatam, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, the instance, whatever Mataji said, is it given in Bhagavatam Prabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yes, Mataji. In 6.1, you can read that.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Very wonderful lecture, but at that time, Vishnu Dutas can win over Yamadutas, Prabhu. But in the current situation, what's happening, I think Dharma is standing on one leg I don't know what is the fate when we see the things which are happening in the current, the war which is happening and the things which happen in this world. How do you explain, Prabhu?
The one thing that's coming in between you and Krishna is the faith. So if you read thoroughly Bhagavad Gita, one of the very powerful words I understand as the most powerful in my life is this, Mataji. If you read hundreds of verses from Bhagavad Gita, this verse stays completely separated. Tesham aham samudharta mrityu sansara shagrat bhavami nachirat partha mai aveshit chetasha. But Krishna says, Tesham. In the previous chapter, Krishna says, Tesam satata juktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tamayadamam upayantate. He's referring to Tesham. Who is the Tesham? Those who are practicing, those having full faith, and they're engaged in devotional service. And who has developed the loving relationship with Krishna, with faith. Now, what I'm saying is extending one more further line. Tesham aham samudharta mrityu sansara shagarat. I'll come by myself. He's not Vishnudut. He will come myself. And I will immediately take him away from this material world. Tesham aham samudharta mrityu sansara shagarat bhavami nachirat partha. And I do not delay this process. Bhavami nachirat partha. I never delay this process. Sometimes, if you look at the life of the devotees, Mataji, the ardent devotees, those are ecstatic devotees, their life becomes miserable. Why? Because Krishna never wants to delay the process. He wants to give all the miseries one life and take them away. And that is a viparit krupa. But the only thing that we need to have is the unflinching, ananya bhav, unflinching faith on this message of the Krishna, unflinching, undiluted love, undiluted faith on this word of Krishna, word of Guru. If you can do that, forget about death. There will be no fear of death. You'll welcome death. You'll definitely welcome death. Death is a blessing for you. Death is a blessing waiting for you in life by giving association of the Lord. And how Shastra described, there are two ways that we can consider death. Think about the death coming as a wild cat. When you consider death as a wild cat and you are hiding as a rat, and anyhow, the cat will pick you, bite you, the blood will ooze out, and he will take away running. But another way, if you embrace Lord, embrace Krishna, the death will come like a mother cat. Keep the kitten, both within this teeth, very carefully, very blissfully, mercifully, and take you to this metal, away from this metal. So it is in our hand how will be considered death. Just developing the loving relationship with the Lord. I hope this answers your question, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, Haribol, Prabhu. But I mean, the way things happen, one way I feel, I'm feeling sorry for them. Another way I see these people are creating so much of havoc in the world. This is a good lesson for them. Like I was getting confused yesterday.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, just to think, the Krishna also fought in Kurukshetra. Millions of people died, right? Have faith in Krishna's message. Have faith in Krishna's word. Hetunanena kunteya jagat viparivartate. Right? Hetunanena, because of the benefits of the people, parivartan is about to happen. It is inevitable. Wars are sometimes inevitable. And that is Krishna's plot. And that's how he governed the world, right? So just have faith on his word. Just have faith on his mercy.
Yes.
And surrender. That's all, Mataji. We don't have any control at this point. We cannot change, right, Mataji? You cannot pick up your phone and Trump, stop it. Can you do it? No, I cannot do it, right? The only thing that you can do is Just
It's only
be
Krishna
dependent.
can do it.
Yeah,
What he wants.
what he wants.
Thank you so much.
Let's pray to Krishna and accept whatever coming to our life, and refer to this Bhagavad Gita 7.1 and 7.2. Maya asapta mana partha yoga junjan madashraya asansaya shamagramam jatha gyasya sitasram. The only thing that we should do is to take shelter, mad ashraya. Yoga junjan, the put efforts, the endeavor in developing relationship and developing shelter for Krishna. Thank you, Mati.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu, it is almost 8:20.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Now we can, if there are no questions, we can end today's session with the Vaishnava Pranam. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for a wonderful class.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. Thank you very much, devotees. I will end the Zoom session now. Hare Krishna.